So Jelly Roll.
You're
Why
about to get
is
me started. You're about to get me started.
okay? So Jelly Roll is my spirit animal. No, no, that's
Jelly
not.
Roll is my hero.
And as well, he should be for real. But
I mean,
we need to talk about this. This came out. I want to say this came out maybe a week or so ago, and we need to talk about this because this is another level of bullshit that should not be
yep.
happening anywhere
I don't.
within the industry, and it needs to stop.
Absolutely unnecessary.
So
Unnecessary.
we're gonna talk about this. Um, Los Angeles Times reported on the 23rd of April that bullying over his weight has driven Jelly Roll offline. This is a direct quote from his wife, Bunny, who says, quote, "It hurts him," unquote.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Jelly Roll's wife, Bunny, says in a promo clip for this week's episode of Dumb Blonde. I'm going to try to link that also so you guys can watch that. In text overlaid on the clip, she promises, quote, "This week I go off on the podcast. Definitely going to ruffle some feathers, and I didn't stutter," unquote. Number one, if you're not following Bunny anywhere, I'm saying on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or wherever she has social media, you need to be following Bunny XO because she is a real G when it comes to
She's
real,
awesome.
genuine people. Quote, "My husband got off the internet because he was so tired of being bullied about his fucking weight," unquote, she
Yeah.
said. "And like that makes me want to cry because he is the sweetest angel baby." She
Yep.
noted that the internet can say whatever it wants about a person and then say, "Well, you're a celebrity. You're supposed to be able to handle it."
Deal with it. Yeah.
And she says, quote, "Well, no the fuck we're not."
Nope.
So let's talk about this because there's no place for this shit on in the world. It's just,
No.
I mean, the man is an absolute genius when it comes to art and marketing for that matter as well. And as an obese person who deals with internet scrutiny on the regular, I don't have words for this. So I'm going to let Kadie try to talk this one through.
I so obviously I was on America's Got Talent, and okay, the main comment I would see, I had no teeth. Okay, I had teeth, but I had two teeth missing, and everyone was like, "What's wrong with your teeth?" I was 12. But there's just all these bad comments, and I everyone's like, "Well, I mean, it's just haters. Haters are gonna be haters. Don't pay attention to them." How can you not pay attention to that? Especially if you have like, I mean, sorry that a lot of people don't have like a cold heart, or like that are just like completely shut off. For all the people that like are sensitive, which you're allowed to be sensitive, even as a man or a celebrity or whoever the hell, whatever the hell. Like it's absolutely insane, especially these days. Like when everyone's like, "Oh, pro this, pro that," but we think you're fat. Like, out of all the things, fat. Like, are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? Like, how
It's,
far back have we gone?
I mean, I think, man, I'm a big fan of the internet. The internet is a good thing in many aspects, but the the overly anonymous world that it creates and the extreme lack of accountability
Hmm.
that exists on the internet, there has to be some way of creating some kind of responsibility for the
Hmm.
people that think it's okay to openly hate another human being, whether they're a celebrity or not, is beside the point. Doesn't
Yep.
matter because that is a person with feelings. That's a person who is putting his feelings out there in a
Yep.
way much more vulnerable than anybody else. I mean, as a singer
Absolutely.
songwriter, I can't even imagine what that's like, putting your feelings out like that all the time. And then for somebody to only see what's on the outside of the human being. I mean, we're not even talking about the tattoos here either. That he's
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if you're gonna say anything, like, I mean, I would think they would say tattoos. Like, you're really going to wait. Like, are you kidding me?
I
Like,
mean,
how cheap can you get? How deep in the dirt, in the mud, in the grime can you get?
right. And it's usually somebody who has no profile picture,
Mhm.
no location on their social
Yeah.
media. They're not creating a damn thing in the world. There's no content under their name. They're just there because mommy and daddy haven't given them any attention since Wednesday of last
So they
week.
gotta start some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they don't have to worry about it. And the thing is, there are much weaker people. I don't want to say weaker, but because like depression is a real thing, right? And like you don't have to be a strong person to not feel depression. I mean, you're not weak to feel depression, is what I'm
I
saying.
mean, sensitive. I mean,
But
that's the
the
only word.
point I'm making is there are people out there who, and I'm in the space. This is my area of expertise here. I'm in the space of influencers on the internet. That's what I do. That's my job. In case you didn't know out there, I am a full-time content creator. That's what I do. So I have purple hair. I have fingernail polish. I am 347 pounds. And I put out a joke every single day on my YouTube channel because I want people to start their day with a positive message. I want them to have a chuckle. And I'm here to tell you that 2 out of every 3 posts that I put out, which are a positive message or a joke, I've got some kid with no profile picture making fun of my teeth or my hair or my weight or
Mhm.
something that has nothing to do with the positive message that I'm trying to put
Yeah.
out. And I'm in the space, right? I stream live. I see so many people who deal with this on the regular. I know so many influencers who are no longer on the planet because they have taken their own life because of the overwhelming lack of accountability on the internet. This gets me passionate because it's a real thing. There are influencers that have ended their life, the one life that they get, in my opinion,
Yep.
because some little boy in his basement in Akron, Ohio, is calling them fat or pointing out something that they already subconsciously are already,
Yep.
not feeling a whole lot of self-esteem over, you know.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, good on you, Jelly, for understanding that the internet is not something that you need to
Yep.
be the human being that you are. And we can all learn something from Jelly Roll. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. All of us, whether you like Jelly Roll or not, and there's a lot of people out there somehow who don't. What? Um, but we can learn from this man in knowing that it is the best thing for all of us to cut out the fat, right?
Mhm.
Let the trash take itself out.
Yep.
And so Jelly Roll has identified a negative thing that's within his life, and he has cut that out. And I commend the guy for that.
Hmm. And I saw that he's lost a lot of weight, and he's working on losing a lot of weight. I saw that it said like he lost 70 pounds, and like, props to him. But I always hope that when people do these kinds of things, especially in the circumstance, that it's not because of what everyone's saying. It's not, trying to put himself in a box and, you know, conform to that image or whatever. I hope he is doing it for himself, but props to him for it and the
I
hard work.
mean, we know Jelly Roll, right? It's very
Yeah.
unlikely that he's doing it for anybody else but
No,
himself,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. But that there's always that seed that's planted.
And let's just keep it real here, right? Let's be honest with each other. The reason why people are trying to tear down that man is because they are jealous of that man. That's just the
Hmm.
way it is, whether it's because he has a hot wife or he has a beautiful voice or he's talented as any other person on this planet. It all breeds from jealousy, and jealousy's not a good look, okay? It's
Nope.
just not. And I commend the guy. I'm a huge fan of Jelly Roll. Huge, 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 huge fan. And to end this segment, I would like to tell you about a funny TikTok that I saw with Jelly
Okay.
Roll and Bunny XO in it. I think it's hilarious, and I'm going to
Shoot.
share it to end the segment. So Jelly Roll was just kind of sitting in his easy chair, and Bunny XO is doing she's doing a response video where you know highlight the somebody says something or comments on your video, and then you just reply to that with a video. I'm not sure if you
Hmm.
know what that. You're not on TikTok, so you
Yeah.
may not know.
No,
But
I know what you mean though. I get the recycled over on
right,
Instagram and Facebook
right.
and all that.
So the commenter, and I'm paraphrasing here. I don't have it in front of me, but the commenter was saying something like, "How does your husband feel about you going out in that outfit?" Because she was wearing what somewhat might call a skimpy outfit, right?
Yeah.
And God, I loved his response. It was so good. So she shows the comment to him, and he looks at it, and then he looks at the phone or the camera, and he says, "My dude, if you've got a Lamborghini, why would you keep it in the garage?" I was like,
For
well,
real.
damn, my
And I mean,
dude.
let her do what she wants to do. Hell.
I just don't, I don't know, man. The internet is good for a lot of things, but we definitely have to try to find a way, and especially the whole anti-bullying thing,
Yeah.
because again, like I said, and the reason why I got so fired up is because there are friends of mine that are no longer here because of online bullying. I'm here to tell you, I've been an online influencer since 2018. I have not gone a week since that time without being bullied on the internet.
Mhm.
I'm telling you,
Absolutely.
in 6 years, I have not gone a week without being bullied. And it plays on your mental health. Oh man, does it play hard on your mental health. And I'm glad I've got Katie Lynn here with me because I do remember uh, when you were performing on America's Got Talent. And back in those days, I don't know if they still do it, but AGT would go live with your performances, and sometimes there would be backstage segments that they would be live on YouTube with. And
Hmm.
God, it was just so much toxicity,
Oh
so
yeah.
much. And I
It's
talked to your mom
insane.
about it, and I was just like, "Man, be careful with this." Because like
Hmm.
you're 12, you were 12 at the time. Like I was so afraid for your confidence that you would
I
see
mean,
that.
it's been weird, especially growing up young. And I mean, anything like that's going to take a toll on anybody. I mean, I feel like me being where I'm from and me having the kind of mentality that I grew up with out in East Texas, I have a little more my shell's a bit tougher than most probably, but to not really caring much. But at the same time, it gets to you and it sucks. And people are just awful for no reason and have no respect for each other and don't care about anyone or their mental health, and
Hmm.
all for a joke or all for just a fu.
Yeah, and
Just because.
it's almost always a representation of the person who is doing the bullying rather than the
Absolutely.
person that's being bullied. And I have to throw some props to Mama here because she, in my opinion, did a great job with you making sure that you, um,
Mhm.
man, I don't want to say it like this, but I think it's the best way to say it, um, that you still fly your freak flag, right? Like you didn't you didn't closet your freak flag. So,
Nope.
and I have a feeling that had a little bit to do with your mama too. So,
Yeah,
um, so
absolutely.
yeah. So I'm glad we got Jelly Roll out of the way early or early-ish because man, that's a whole lot of stuff. I guess my last question on this subject is how can we as a society create more accountability from an uber anonymous source like the internet? Like, how do we do that?
Well, I feel like a lot of times people on the internet hold each other accountable. Like if someone goes off spouting some BS, like a lot of people are going to chime in and be like, "You are stupid." So a lot of, I mean, there is some of that, and I'm definitely happy when I do see that when people are getting called out. But at the end of the day, I mean, unless I don't know what could change unless like the whole world changes with like identity and stuff on the internet. I don't think there's ever going to be a way to stop it. There's not. And I mean, all we can ever think is I feel strongly that the world is getting kinder by the day.
It
and
is.
more accepting, and I hope that it continues, and I hope that all of this BS stops before too long, but
And it's funny you say that too,
never
because
will.
talking about the internet being a good thing, that is one of the good things about the internet is it is becoming harder for hate to hide because
Yeah.
of the internet. I've seen so many celebrities and sports athletes who tweeted something in 2011, it comes back to haunt you.
Yep.
And so, in my opinion, hate is a very powerful thing to not only hide, but it is also a really tough thing to rehabilitate.
Absolutely.
Um, and it saddens me because we're all the same,
Hmm.
regardless of what we look like and the color of our skin or who we love or where we live or whatever it is. We're all trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to be successful. We all want people that love us. We all want to live comfortably. We want to
Hmm.
have the things that should be given to us, right? Just basic health care and food and water and a roof over our heads. And I don't know why happiness has to be so conditional
Yep.
nowadays, and it's not right. But again, the good news is because of the internet, it is becoming much more difficult for prejudice, racism, homophobia, misogyny, all of those bad words, and they are bad words. They're hard to hide now, and that's the
Yep.
good thing about the internet. But the bad thing about the internet is anonymity, I guess.
Yep.